Oh, 7 Citizens Black here from Casa Black Gaming, and so with the new huge update to Star Citizen 4.0 comes a new moment in the game where we finally have multiple systems, and as the patches leading up to 4.0 came into existence, many new changes to overall gameplay also happened, making pretty much all guides before this useless. Well, I aim to change that with a handful of various topics, which I will post in one large video guide, and then also break up into smaller chunk size guides by topic. But no matter how you find these guides, they will all be quick, to the point, with useful timestamps below and in their own playlist on my YouTube channel. These guides will be aimed at either new players or players who might have taken a break and are fresh to Pyro and all the game has to offer, so no matter your skill level, you should get something out of these guides. So let's stop the chattering and get to the info. Alright, so before you go jumping in your ship to take off, there are some things I want to explain in terms of equipping your ship. All ships have various components and or weapons or utility components that can be changed for better or different parts. Some of the very large ships might have certain bespoke parts that cannot be swapped out, but for the majority of ships you can customize various items to get more out of your ship, and this feature will only get better as engineering comes online soon post 4.0. But we will also see more activity with maintaining our components, so that is something to be aware of for the future as well. Now, while you're at your starter city, this is the perfect time to equip anything that might be at the starter city. But one thing that is most certainly there are your paints for your ships. When you first start on a planet where your personal hangar is located, you and every item that you've attached to your account are all located there with you, which makes it the ideal place to set everything up at first. Now, the very first thing you should do upon entering your personal hangar is to head over to the ship terminal and start having any ship that you need to equip something on brought to that location. You want to only use the deliver option and not the retrieve option, at least not yet. Now, delivering means your ship is delivered to that city you are located, which is all we currently need to equip the items to it. If you retrieve the ship, it will be called out to your hangar and appear in front of you. You cannot equip everything to that ship while it's sitting on your hangar deck. There might be some components and weapons that you can equip using your tractor beam manually while the ship is sitting there, but overall, for now at least, you want to only deliver the ship and not retrieve it. Now, once you have the ship or ships delivered, you want to equip something, and you go into your Moby Glass and down at the bottom, click on the Vehicles tab. Then you select the desired vehicle from your upper right corner. After that, just give it a second to load and you can then go through the various components that are over on the left side. Here you can change the livery, which is the paint, if you bought a paint when you purchased your ship. You can swap out the weapons or ship components like the quantum drive or shields, power plant, or coolers. Now, when swapping out your missiles, you need to make sure that you unequip the old ones first, including the racks. Then you save the changes and then you go back in. Sometimes it won't let you apply new missiles or swap out the missile racks until you unequip the others and then save, so make sure you do that. Alright, so by now there's probably a couple of questions that you're probably wondering, which is where you buy new components and how do you know which components that you need to buy for your ship. Now, there are various shops around Stanton located mostly at the space stations, either above the planets or out at the Lagrange stations, which you will see spread around the system on the map at places that are marked Crew L1, Her L2, Mick L4, or Arc L2, etc. Now, some of the starter cities can be better to start in to get a head start on your vehicle components if you have the endgame credits. Orison on Crusader is a great starter planet for having parts at your fingertips, but Area 18 on ArcCorp and New Babbage on Microtech are also decent choices. Hurston is by far the worst place for buying upgrades for your ships. A little note here too is that Pyro will also have ship components, however, you are going to pay 3 to 4 times more in price if you buy any ship components out there, so just be aware of that. So now that you know that there are ship stores where you buy the parts, you need to know which parts. So for many ships, this can be quite different and will only get more different as engineering comes online soon, not to mention crafting. Now you can look for my ship loadout videos, which are done by ship name. So a Drake Cutlass Black ship loadout video or a Cutter loadout can easily be found. There is also a website called Urkel that has a ship loadout calculator that is really easy to use, and after putting on the components you want to use, it shows their locations, the price, and more, including the stat adjustments. Now I have a link for them down in the description below. Now part of your early gameplay will be earning money for parts and flying around to get those parts. Some parts you might want to even grab multiples of if you have multiple ships in that same size category. An example of this would be buying multiple size 1 quantum drives if you have more than one ship with a size 1 quantum drive. That way you only have to make the trip to buy it that one time, and then you can take them all back to your personal hangar and install them there. The key thing to remember when equipping your ship with any part or weapon is that you, the ship, and the desired part must all be at the same location or station. These parts do not show up for your use across light years of space. If the part is at crew L1 and you and the ship are at crew L2, you cannot equip that part. Now, one final note is that after a patch has gone live, and it's a patch where there was no wipe, which is most likely since wipes rarely happen anymore, that starter planet you are on should have any components that you had bought previously, so be sure to deliver all of your ships there your first time in the game after an update, and go ahead and install everything back to your ships before you take off. That way, if you call out a ship at another location, the part would have already been installed. Now at the start of each new patch, my first 30 minutes to an hour, now it's starting to actually get up to a couple of hours, is usually just me setting up my ships and reorganizing my hangar with all of my special cargo boxes of goodies. But that's getting into storage chip territory, and that will be covered in the next video. Okay, so that's it for this 4.0 little guide, but as mentioned, this is a small guide on a single topic, but there will be a larger guide with all topics in one, so do look for more guides on 4.0, which are all in their own playlist, as I will have quite a few of them. Or you can look for that larger overall guide if that's your thing. Now, if you found anything helpful here, then please consider liking and subscribing, as that really helps my channel grow. I also have a Discord where all are welcome, and we have many nice helpful players who cover a wide range of time zones who can answer questions directly or even help to offer assistance in game, so come on over. Anyway, I've been Black, and let's keep it positive out there as we make our way through the verse.